pays? So like when we talked about the internet, and we're talking about a very specific type of business when we're talking about this, people who are working from home. Who is paying for the internet in that case when I'm working from home? Who is to pay for that? And then also, like, I feel like I've heard that like the internet companies have increased bandwidth for people who are working from home, but they haven't really teetered one way or another saying that that's going to stay up or stay down, because there is a throttling issue with Wi-Fi and bandwidth for people. Like, so is there any insights on kind of the bandwidth? Because that seems to be like, yes, hopefully you have an office in your house. Not everyone has that. Hopefully you have a table that you can put a laptop on or an iPad on or something like that. Hopefully you don't have screaming kids running around all the time because they don't go to school anymore and you can't go to daycare because everything else is shut down. But like from a bandwidth perspective, from internet, like who is paying for that, and what's going on with the throttling things? I don't know if you have any insights on either of those.
Well, not on the throttling, but on the who pays for it. Right now, it's up to the individual businesses and how they negotiate with their employees as far as covering things. The biggest issue is a cybersecurity issue. Even if you have a virtual protected network or virtual private network, VPN, if you aren't practicing good cybersecurity procedures at home, you can get your VPN taken down by somebody coming in with malware, ransomware, anything along those lines. So cyber is now a very big issue, and we've gone so far as to contract with an attorney who's going to put on 4 training programs on cybersecurity, and we're going to partner up with a white hat hacking company to talk about it from a technical standpoint and then from a legal standpoint. So we're going to have 4 courses coming up here starting later this year.
It just seems like if you are thinking about a business to start and looking for that real challenge that people are going through, and you have any chops in cybersecurity, this is the time to start it, from what you just said.
Quite possibly, yes. It's a matter of finding the customers, and remember, especially when you're dealing in my universe, which is small businesses, they don't have the money to afford to pay that.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Jim, because there's a lot of companies out there that they would rather roll the dice and wait for something to happen versus spend the money up front to prevent something that may not happen for another 6 to 12 months.
Or 6 to 12 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a call each individual business owner is going to have to make. And if you're a small business owner with razor thin margins as it is, you're going to have to make a priority of what gets paid and what doesn't get paid.
What security or not, risk or not, like how do you make that decision on like what type of thing to do? Like how do you make the decision, I should have this, but I don't. I should do that, but I don't. Like how do you advise a company to make a decision like that?
Well, that's why we're bringing in outside experts who will sit there and not flog product. Get Norton's cybersecurity, cybersafe or whatever. No, we're not flogging product. What we're doing is we're giving.
As you just flog that because Norton's a sponsor of the show. No, I'm kidding.
But we're giving them information so that they can make informed decisions as to how to proceed. In some cases, the risks may be perceived to be minimal. Okay, maybe you don't need all the bells and whistles, but maybe you need to implement some policy procedures and operating procedures to cover the weaknesses that you may have.